All right, let's dive into one of history's most incredible architectural styles. Today, we are peeling back the layers on Mughal architecture. We're going to go way beyond the beautiful pictures to really understand the power, the philosophy, and the sheer ambition that was built, quite literally, into the stones of Mughal India.
I mean, we've all seen the Taj Mahal, right? It's famous, a global symbol of love. But what if I told you that this building, and so many others like it, aren't just pretty faces? They are telling a story. It's a very specific message about power, about heaven, and about building a paradise right here on Earth. And today, we're going to learn how to read that message.
So, where did all this even come from? Well, it all started with the Mughal Empire, a dynasty that ruled for over 300 years. And it wasn't just one person's vision. It was a whole line of emperors who were also master builders. You had Babur, who founded the empire, then Akbar, the great builder, Jahangir, who had an eye for gardens, and of course Shah Jahan, who ushered in the Golden Age. Each one of them left their own unique mark in stone, creating this incredible legacy that has long outlasted the empire itself.
And that brings us to a really crucial idea. These structures, they're so much more than just tombs or palaces or forts. You have to think of them as physical arguments, as a complex philosophy made real, designed to show the world exactly how their builders saw the universe.
So what exactly is Mughal architecture, when you boil it down? Well, at its heart, it's this brilliant fusion, this incredible mashup. It takes the epic scale and symmetry from Persian design. It blends in the precise geometry and beautiful calligraphy from Islamic art, and then it gets flavored with local Indian styles. And what you get, it's this amazing style that screams imperial power, royalty, and deep spirituality all at the same time.
To really get it, I think the best way is to decode the most famous example of all, the Taj Mahal. If we can break this one building down into its core parts, we can basically see the blueprint for the entire Mughal style. And it really comes down to four key ideas, four pillars that hold up this whole philosophy. First, an absolute obsession with perfect symmetry and balance. Second, that iconic heavenly dome. Third, the garden, which isn't just landscaping, it's a map of paradise. And fourth, ornamentation so incredibly rich, it basically turns stone into jewelry. Let's break them down one by one.
First up, symmetry. This is absolutely fundamental. Seriously, look at any great Mughal building. Draw a line down the middle, and everything on the left is a perfect mirror image of what's on the right. Now, this wasn't just to make it look nice. No, this was a statement. It was about creating a sense of perfect order, of divine harmony, of a universe in perfect balance.
And then you have the dome. You can't miss it, right? That massive, bulbous, almost onion-shaped dome. A lot of the time, they were actually using a really clever double dome system. That gave them a super high ceiling inside while keeping that grand, majestic shape on the outside. Its purpose was crystal clear. It symbolized the vault of heaven, crowning the building in a kind of celestial glory.
Okay, next we have the Charbagh Garden. The name literally means four gardens, and you'll see it's laid out in a perfect square, divided by channels of flowing water. But this was so much more than just a pretty park. It was designed to be a literal physical replica of the paradise described in the Quran. The idea was that walking through it should feel like you're walking through heaven itself.
And finally, the incredible ornamentation. One of the most stunning techniques they used was called pietra dura. Just think about this. Artisans would carve out marble and then inlay these tiny, perfectly polished pieces of semi-precious stones. We're talking lapis lazuli, jade, carnelian, to create these gorgeous, intricate floral designs. It's just a mind-blowing display of the empire's wealth and its obsession with capturing a kind of heavenly beauty.
So, we've seen all the core elements, right? The symmetry, the domes, the gardens, the details, but how did this style even come to be? Well, it didn't just pop up out of nowhere. It was a very deliberate, very masterful blend of different cultures.
Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a recipe. The foundation, the base ingredient, is Persian. That's where you get the grand scale, the symmetry, the big arches. Then you add in the Islamic influence, the detailed geometric patterns and the calligraphy. And for the final touch, you garnish it with some local Indian spices. Things like those beautiful little domed pavilions called chhatris, or the intricately carved lattice screens called jali.
But here's the thing. This recipe wasn't set in stone. It actually evolved over time, and it really depended on who was in charge. Each of the great Mughal emperors added their own personal flavor, leaving a totally distinct signature on the buildings they created. You can see this so clearly when you look at the big three builders. You start with Akbar. He was all about this strong, robust red sandstone.
His masterpiece, Fatehpur Sikri, is this incredible blend of Hindu and Islamic styles. Then his son Jahangir comes along. He's a bit more refined. He loves gardens and delicate decorative work. But then his grandson, Shah Jahan, wow. He's the one who takes the style to its absolute peak. He ditches the sandstone for this pure, ethereal white marble and just perfects the use of symmetry in buildings like the Taj Mahal.
So you can literally see the story of the empire just by looking at the materials. The architecture transforms, It goes from the powerful, masculine, red sandstone of Akbar's fortresses to the delicate, almost dreamlike white marble of Shah Jahan's palaces. It's this clear journey from a statement of raw, earthly power to one of pure, heavenly elegance.
So, what does all this mean for us, looking back centuries later? When we stand in front of these incredible buildings, what are they really telling us?
They're a message, loud and clear, written in stone. First off, they are an undeniable expression of absolute imperial authority. They're also a testament to deep religious faith. They are a shining symbol of artistic and cultural refinement. And maybe, just maybe, the most powerful message of all is that they represent this timeless, deeply human ambition to build a perfect world, to build heaven right here on Earth.
And really, that's the ultimate secret of Mughal architecture, isn't it? The emperors are long gone, their empire is history, but their biggest ambitions, their desire for power, for paradise, for a legacy that lasts forever, they're still here, perfectly preserved in stone for all of us to see and to read. Kind of makes you wonder, what will our architecture say about us in a few hundred years?